So I don't like talking about my feelings a lot. And I'm doing this for myself mostly because I have a hard time saying a lot of what I'm feeling inside. So what I want to talk about today is just the concept of hating yourself until you change. So for about 6 years now, since I was like 14, 13, around that age, I've gotten into fitness, right? And as a lot of people that get into fitness at that age, they usually have a lot of self-image issues, typically about their body, their face. I mean, that's how you get look smaxes and shit. I was a fucking look smaxer at one point for like a year. But when I started by doing push-ups in my room, doing pull-ups, getting some gymnastic rings, doing calisthenics and shit. I've done that for like about a year. But I didn't do it because I loved it. Now I love all of it. I love fitness. I love going to the gym every single time I can. But back then, and even still, the main motivation behind all of that is hatred. Just hatred towards yourself and hatred towards just your existence and the concept of yourself. I grew up really fat, not athletic. I couldn't catch a fucking ball at one point, like for most of my life, until I actually, had friends that pushed me to be my best version of myself. But I grew up fat, lost all that weight really, really fucking fast because of an eating disorder I had when I was 12. And then I was 5'10" even, or 5'9.5" probably, and I weighed 138 pounds. I was really fucking skinny when I took up fitness, and I hated that. I hated the way I looked, and I hated myself so fucking much that I just forced myself to change. And ever since then, that's just been a constant thing in the back of my mind. Do this to change, do that to change. And a healthy way to look at it is you change for the better of yourself. You change because you want to, because you know it's the right thing. But for myself, I've changed because I just fucking hated the way I was. And I'll be honest, I'm speaking for now as well. Like, even now, like, I do have my flaws. Everybody has their flaws. But the way I look at myself right now is intensified 10 times, and I meticulously look at every single one of my flaws, and I still have the mentality that I need to change, I need to improve myself just out of spite of myself, because how much I fucking hated myself. It's gotten a lot better now. I mean, a lot of my friends say I have a little bit of an ego, but that's mostly because whenever I'm with others, it distracts me from myself. It distracts me from my thoughts inside. But whenever I'm by myself, I mean, the thoughts just fucking cave in, and a lot of people can relate to this, like, your mind is your worst enemy. You yourself are your worst enemy. And that's always been true, literally, since I was a fucking teenager, And I'm okay now because I just got out of the gym. But every single fucking time I go to the gym, I'm always disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed I didn't get this rep. I'm disappointed I didn't get this weight. Disappointed I didn't do this amount of sets. I'm disappointed that I gave up too early, that it was a shitty day. I'm disappointed in myself, And that's not healthy. When you're one of the biggest hobbies in your life, one of the biggest passions in your life makes it so you hate yourself. That's not healthy. And I'm aware enough to recognize that, but I just don't know how to get out of it, Same with music. I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for about almost 3 years now. I played in a band for a year. I've made my own music for about like 2 years, and I still hate the way I play. I hate that I'm not good enough. I hate everything about how I play, and I try to get better out of hatred of the way that I do things, you know. And it's fucking exhausting, you know. It's just exhausting. Just hate being a constant war with yourself. Being a constant war with yourself because you don't know anything else, you know. And honestly, I've had a lot of underlying issues throughout my whole life. I had a lot of childhood causes. I'm not saying I have childhood trauma, but I do recognize the fact that there are causes in my childhood and causes in my upbringing that did shape me to who I am right now. And thankfully, I'm breaking that cycle. I'm doing my best to break that cycle, and I'm doing my best to reverse that, you know, but it's still there, you know, the effect's still there. It is just exhausting being in constant war with yourself. Just constantly having this nagging voice saying how worthless you are, how much of a burden you are, you know, how little you value, or how much little value you have to others, you know. And it's fucking belittling, you know. If it was anybody else saying that to me, I'd rock their shit right there on the spot, but nobody's saying that except for myself. There's no moral. There's no moral of the story. It's just, it's an unhealthy thing that I've been coping with for a long ass time. And I'm getting to the age where I just need to heal, you know. I need to lock in, and I gotta do better for, not just for myself, but for all those that depend on me, you know. It's a lot. No matter how much you do, it just feels like you're not doing enough. And yeah.